YouTubers, this is Mayor X, Mama G, aka Mama Lynn. Mama Lynn to the kids because I'm not their mother, but I'm a Mama Lynn. So that's just the way it works. Anyway, I'm going to try and bring in some commentary here on the issues around the things that I find important. And I'm new at this, so I'm still kind of nervous. So anyway, this is a staple. This is like rice in the house. This is like having flour and to make bread. This is my main hat. Okay, you can see my hat. Can you zoom in on the hat? All right, this is the Mayor X main #1 hat. Although I will be wearing other hats. For example, I've got one right here that actually goes with an outfit. So you get a sneak peek on this one. This one's kind of cool. This is my first one that I've been beading on for the last about month and a half, 2 months now in my spare time, because the things that I'm going to talk about are very serious issues. So in the meantime, I'm kind of doing a pajama party on the side here because I'm in my pajamas, but it's the way I tell my kids, and this is the thing. It's not a fashion show. When you run in a house and you run in a family, you know, you work all day like a farmer out in the field. And when you're out in the field, you know, usually when the farmer comes back, he takes his clothes, he hangs them on the hook, he goes in, he eats, he goes to sleep. He gets up at, 4 or 5 in the morning, sometimes maybe early, depending on what he's doing. And he runs off and he goes and he puts his clothes back on and he's gone. And he's gone for like 16, 17, 18 hours getting the fields ready, feeding the cows or whatever he does. That's what farmers do. Well, I'm kind of like a farmer's wife. Okay, that's the way I work. Sometimes, you know, it is a fashion show, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting the work done. And right now, we're going to talk a little bit about meat. Okay, here's a piece of meat. This is a good deal. Okay, so as I start to cut my meat, I'm going to talk about things that, like, for example, animals. You know, the way we treat our animals. Okay. This is my family. I have a large family. I have to feed my family. So I'm not promoting a vegetarian diet and I'm not promoting a meat diet. But then on the other hand, I'd like to see a balance. Let me put my main staple hat on here. Hold on. I want the other hat. That hat's for a different day. I just wanted to show you. But this is like having rice in the house all the time, or potatoes or something like that. Or in this case, pork. Now I'm Ukrainian. So in the old days on the farms, I know that pork, cabbage, and onions, and garlic, and of course a cow that could produce cream would feed a family, and it kept them healthy. And today they're still living to 100 years, 105 years old. Okay, so you know, you can learn a lot of lessons from the farm. So in the meantime, though, the way we farm our animals now, with the I don't know. I'm a little nervous, YouTube, so you have to give me some time to build up some confidence on this stuff. If you ask me to write it down, type it out, you know, I could give you a headache. But for me to spit it out and, you know, talk about it on the fly, it's just kind of like this in my head. And I don't have any notes here, so this is directly on the fly. So in the meantime, okay, we want to start a meal program. So what kind of meal program do we want to start? We want to start a universal school meal program. That's what my nonprofit represents. That's why I'm standing here with a hat on in my pajamas talking to you right now. Okay, because at the end of the day, I'm the farmer's wife, and farmers work hard, and I work hard, and I want to see, you know, that whatever it is that we create from these episodes that I'm going to be putting out into the public to get your attention, okay, that, you know, it's environmentally safe, it's friendly to the animals, you know, it's good for kids, it keeps us as human beings healthy. And so therefore, right now, there's a big issue of meat products, okay? Meat products, animals are being abused so that we humans can have supper. And, you know, I don't know, like, I've seen some videos that have been very, very disturbing, and it got me to actually make a New Year's resolution. And I don't make too many of them because I already work hard as it is. So, you know, I don't have too much to prove. But at the end of the day, if I was to make a New Year's resolution, it was to cut my meat intake in my house by half. That's how I am trying to become a more conscious consumer. Okay, but I still buy meat because my family needs to stay healthy, and I would think that if you were feeding a population on a large scale, say like a school meal program, you would have to incorporate some form of meat or animal product, like an egg or a cheese or something into the diet of children, and so that they can, you know, grow and stay healthy, right? Because I know it's worked for me, and being that I'm from the farms in an ancestral sense, right? I have an appreciation for you know, seeing it go in the right direction. So So this is what I feed my family. I bought 2 of these, and I got turkeys that are actually bigger than that. I got them on sale. So I'm thrifty, I'll freeze it. But if I cut off a piece of meat, you know, maybe this much, right, that's gone in a day for me. And that's not including the other things that you put in there, like the staple, like the rice and the potatoes and, you know, your vegetables and stuff. So I know how expensive it can be to feed a family. But I would not want to know that this animal was abused so that I could feed my family. So when I bought this last night, okay, I actually approached the management and I asked them, where did this pork leg come from? And they couldn't really tell me, other than maybe it came from Alberta, which, you know, it would make sense because Alberta is, you know, a Mundare, Vegreville. Hey, you know, that's my hometown, right? So you know, again, people got to make an income. People need to eat. So I said, well, you know, as a business operator and as a consumer on my part, you know, being that I'm becoming more aware, and this is the point of this conversation, is that the consumer starts to become more aware of where they're buying their products, so that as a collective we can actually start making some changes. So if the company was to be aware that the consumer is becoming aware that we do not want to buy products that are like animal abusive. Now, I don't know how you would farm a pig other than maybe in a small farm in a pen and it gets to roll around and do what pigs do. But I definitely wouldn't like to know that this pig came from, you know, a little pen that it couldn't move for the duration of its life. You know, as a consumer, I don't want to support that. But I need to have meat to feed my family. Because as a mother of 5 children, you know, I know what that means. And as a founder to a nonprofit that wants to promote a universal meal program that can spread out to every community across our continent, United States, Mexico, and Canada, but mainly right now Canada and United States, you know, I'd like to know that the things that we're feeding our children and our elderly and wherever this meal program is going to go in whatever direction. I should be cutting this, but anyway, I like to talk with my hands. So, you know, yeah. So I think maybe at some point, you know, as things begin to come together, I might go back to the company. It's a Canadian-born company. It's not American. Safeway is American, but this one is not. This one, the owner lives here. Actually, he lives in BC. He's a rich man. So anyway, you know, if the company can be supportive of animal rights in terms of humane, you know, raising and killing of them so that we humans can eat, I think that would be good business for a company to maybe, you know, think about in going in that direction. Because as a consumer, as, you know, with a mother of 5 children, and then plus I do little snacks every now and then for other things that I do, and I want to create a meal program for some of the people in my neighborhood that are, you know, economically disenfranchised at this point. I just can't see it being completely on non-meat products or dairy products or egg products or anything. So there has to be a balance. So this is what this video is about. It's about a balance, because this piece of meat that I'm cutting off right now, okay, and this is a big piece of meat. This thing cost me like $20, $25, and it was at 87 cents a pound. That's good price, 87 cents a pound. You don't find that anymore. You know, normally it's $2.98 a pound. Huh? If you're lucky, you get it for $1.98. But in this case, I bought 2 of them because it was for 87 cents a pound. But again, as a consumer, you know, do I really want to spend 87 cents a pound or $1.29 or $1.69 or $2.98? Does it really matter if this animal was severely abused at my expense? You know, if I was to quit eating meat, that would be the reason, because I would not want the animal suffering. So that, you know, we can overconsume, because as a society in the Western world, we tend to overconsume. So cutting my meat intake by half with my family is probably not a good thing. I mean, it is probably a good thing, because, you know, meat can give you cholesterol of the heart and all these other things. But then at the end of the day, up in Mundare and Vegreville and all those places in Alberta where this piece of meat came from, sneeze it out. You know, so It kept the old school healthy. You know, they're healthy. They're living to 100, 105. Some of them 108 years old. They're saying, "Oh, happy birthday!" But in those days, animals were raised in a barn. You know, they had free grazing ranges, and you know, the pigs got to do what pigs like to do. Now they're in little cages, and they can't move, and they don't get proper veterinary care. And this is what this video is about, is that, you know, as I work on my nonprofit, I want the viewers and the people that, you know, support what I do to understand that I'm very environmentally conscious, or at least I try to be. And, you know, I'm concerned about animals and their suffering. This right here wouldn't even be enough for one meal. You know, my son can eat that. Hey, don't you think? Half of it, at least that much. He'll come home from school. He's in college now, right? So he'll come home and, you know, we'll eat this much, and we'll think, oh, well, we got a little left over for tomorrow, but by the time dinner's done, I go to the plate or back to the roasting pan or whatever it is, it's gone. So, you know, or I say, well, go ahead, take that for school tomorrow, you know, because he needs to eat. So we're going to talk about trying to build in a program that is environmentally, that's not Blue. Blue went up the mountain. That's Sadie. That's my Charliette. You haven't been introduced to Sadie yet, because I'm still trying to decide whether I want to keep this dog. She's a little part Dalmatian, and she's getting spots. So that's the intriguing part, because, you know, Blue was with me for 15 years. He went up the mountain. You know, I asked Mike when I cut up to him, I said, where did Baloo go? Oh, well, you know, he just went up the mountain. I'm like, what do you mean he went up the mountain? He goes, yeah, you know, the next day we got there and he just went up the mountain. I haven't seen him since. And I said, and you didn't call me? And then, I swear, not even a month later, this mutt showed up at my door. And she was a puppy, like just a little teeny weeny thing. She was white with just a couple of black spots on her. But now we've had her, what, about three months now, right? And now she's getting like Dalmatian spots all over her. And she's whimpering. So anyway, this is Mama Lynn, a.k.a. Marex. Okay, we're starting in my kitchen with a pajama party. Talking about bringing in a meal program that is environmentally conscious and humane, right? So for now, it's peace out.